I am super excited to be here and lead this session about grabbing your learner's attention using Articulate Storyline 360 sliders to make your course pop. The first thing I wanted to kind of figure out is kind of gauge everybody's temperature in terms of, are you familiar with what a parallax effect is? And if you could you raise your hands? That's kind of what I was going to do, but actually you guys can just talk and say, yes, I know what it is. I've seen it before and all.
Yes.
Okay. And you too, Robin?
Parallax, no, and I've
Okay.
used Articulate, but not sliders. So I'm really excited about this.
Okay. And have you used sliders, Mo?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Okay. So you know all this stuff.
To a
So
minor extent.
minor, no, but I mean, sliders, they're not really that complicated. And Robin already knows this, but just so you know, Mo, I'm an instructional designer. I'm also an e-learning developer. I've been doing it for a little over 6 years. I started my career at American Airlines in their learning and development department. Right now, I do freelance work and I own an Innovate Learning LLC. That's kind of my little small company that I use to do my freelance work. I got my master's of science and instructional technology from Bloomsburg University of Pennsylvania. And just a fun fact about me, this weekend I made a raw vegan strawberry cheesecake, which I've never made any kind of cheesecake before, and I was very leery about it.
Respect.
I thought it was going to taste like it actually was really, really good and decadent. I was like
Nice.
shocked. So I had to share that with you guys.
Very cool.
So today, basically, I'm going to show you how to create a parallax effect in Storyline 360 using the slider feature. And just so on the same page, when I'm talking about a parallax effect, I think there might be little tweaks to the definition, but basically I view it as a design feature where the background moves at a slower rate than the foreground. And there can be many different layers moving, but essentially that's the basis of it. And because of this, it creates an illusion of depth and gives a 3D effect when the user either scrolls left or right and up and down. It's been used, and I'm sure, Mo, you know about this, video games, websites, and obviously e-learning. The video games and the websites are probably a little bit more advanced and complicated. E-learning, I think, is a lot, not as complicated. And so I just kind of wanted to show you, do you have any questions?
No, no, no.
No, no.
I'm agreeing.
Okay, so I just want to show you a few examples of the first one, the website that I found. It's really cool. It's called Freak Show Wine website. It's a website where you can purchase wines with your and get your name on the label. So I'm going to go to and pull it up. Can you see my screen and it's loading or no?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Okay, so this is the first example, which I thought was really cool. You see how there are different layers in here moving at different rates. And because of that, it gives that kind of 3D depth effect. The second one that I wanted to show you was for a game. It's called Firewatch. It is a mystery game set in the Wyoming wilderness. It was created by Campo Santo. And here again, you'll notice that when I scroll up and down, there are several different layers to the image. The first layer with the sun is not moving at all. And then there's several layers of trees in the mountain, and they're all moving at different rates to give it this kind of cool effect. The third one I wanted to show you was from actually an e-learning challenge, one of the first e-learning challenges using the parallax effect, and that is by Ross Garner, and I think he did a really cool job. If you just drag the slider along the way, you'll see how he has 3 different layers moving, and it gives that same effect. So
That's very cool.
yeah, very cool
That
stuff. I mean,
is so amazing, honestly.
and you can get as creative or, as, complex as you want, or it can be very, very simple with just 2 layers. So, and I found a lot of examples, but those were the three that stood out to me. So, and the reason why I'm going to say this again, the reason why I thought that this approach was so cool, I found this quote by Mike Taylor. Are you guys familiar with Mike Taylor? You see his name all around, right? Or no?
Not really, no.
So he is also an e-learning developer, but I follow him on LinkedIn, and I guess maybe in my circle he's pretty well known, but he's considered, you know, an expert in the e-learning field. But one of the quotes that I found that he said was, think like a marketer, invoke emotion, make it fun, sexy, interesting, and mysterious so they want to learn. Well, the reason why I like this parallax effect is because I think it makes it fun, sexy, interesting, and mysterious. So that's the reason why I kind of chose this approach. And I think that sliders, using the slider feature in Storyline is just an easy way to create that effect. So, and do you have any questions so far? You're good.
No, so far, really
I,
good.
ju- I just
Excited.
screenshotted the code, that's all.
Oh, okay. So, today what I'm going to do, today what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what we're going to create. This is the finished version, and then I'm going to walk you through how I created it, but I just wanted you to take a look at what it is. And it's very basic. There's just 3 layers in here. So as you move the sliders, the guy moves, the clouds move, and the birds move, and then the back is stationary. So that's what we're going to work on today. And when I built this, basically my process for doing this is in 3 stages. The first stage is that I add the images, then I add the states to the images, I add the slider, and then the last part that I do is that I add the triggers. So does anybody have any questions, or does that make sense, or any of that good stuff?
It does make
Okay.
It
sense.
does make sense. I look forward to seeing the process.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought it would be
So,
a lot more complicated than this, honestly.
yeah, no, it's not as complicated as I think a lot of people think it is. So I'm going to start from scratch. I'm just going to build the whole thing, and I'm going to assume that you guys already know the basics of Storyline and stuff like that. So I'm just going to start my thing. The first thing that I do is that I just pull out I like to just make sure I have enough space on the timeline, so I pull it out to 20 seconds. Now I'm going to insert my 3 images that I have saved in my little asset section. So I'm going to import. I'm actually going to import them one at a time because it's just easier for me to make sure I organize them. Okay. And then I'm going to import image number 2, which are the clouds. And they're going to go up here. And then I'm going to import image 3, the birds. Okay.
You've created all that on Illustrator?
No, I actually got these from Adobe. So I bought
Okay.
one Adobe image, and then Adobe has it in Illustrator, and then I separated it in Illustrator. You know, you can copy and save them as separate elements.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's
Okay.
what I did. I'm actually going to make this a little bit bigger. There we go. And then I'm going to pull in the last image. And then I'm just resizing them. So, and I think the main thing to remember is the next stage is that I'm going to add the states. Are you familiar with states, Mo and Robin?
Yeah.
Okay, so you already know.
Yes.
So the main thing is that I resize the images in the beginning, because if I start creating the states and then I resize it after, it just throws the whole thing off. So right now I have all the images there. So now I'm going to add the states to the images. I don't need to add the state to the houses. So I'm gonna start with the clouds. And what I do with the states is the states basically are different positions of the images. So, and I will move the positions in increments of the clouds will be 0.5, the birds will be a little bit faster, and the boy's bike will be a little bit faster. So I'm just going to start with the clouds. That's going to be the one in the back, the background, and that's going to move the slowest. So I'm just going to add a state and then move it to the left incrementally by 5. So, and I just name them position 1, and I'm going to do 5 positions. Okay, so position 1, I'm going to go up to the X position up here, and I'm going to enter -5. So that'll move it a little bit, and then I will just duplicate position 2, and I'm going to go through and do this for everything, and then that'll be 10, and then duplicate position 3, 15, 4, 20. And you can do as many as these, positions as you want to. I chose 9 because it was, not too big, not too, but big enough.
That was about to be my question, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, how many duplicates should be the best practice?
So it depends on how far. So it depends on how far along you want the interaction to run and how detailed you want it. I just did 9 because 9 was not that much, but you could do 20, and 20 would have it moving at smaller increments, and it would probably be a little bit more fine-tuned. Does that make sense, or am I being too general?
No.
Yeah, so
That
I
makes sense.
chose 9. At first I started out with 5, but 5 was actually not enough to see a difference, to see the effect. So
Okay,
I
so
chose,
there goes your best practice. In order
yeah,
for you to start seeing a difference, start from 9.
yeah. All right, so 8 and 40 and position, yeah. 9 is -45, and I always go through and check that it's -5, 10, -15, -20, -25, 30, 35, 40, and 45. And so we are done with that one. Then the next image that we're going to do is the bird image. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing, edit, add state position 1, but this time I'm going to do it in increments of, hold on one second, increments of 50. So let's add this, -50, 100, oops, and 450. And I'm just going to check again to make sure I got 0, 50, 100, 150, 200, 250, 300, 350, 400, and 450. That one's done. And then the last one we're going to do is the bike, and I'm going to do that in increments of 100, so that is going to be a lot easier.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because I thought this was going to take longer as I started building different, because I built different little demo things, and I thought it was going to take me a lot longer, and then I had to email Robin and say, hey Robin, this is actually going to be it's going to be shorter than I thought it was going to be.
Which is just fine because it gives us time to ask questions and talk about other things related to storyline that tie into what you're presenting. So this is great.
Good point. So second one will be 200. Position 3. 300.
My really annoying question would be, how did you find out the right positioning when you first started?
Oh,
Like, I
trial and
mean,
error.
this iteration.
Trial and error. I always start out with little tiny. First, I started out with the clouds. I think I started at like 25, and I found that was too big.
Mm-hmm.
So then I moved to 10, and then I moved to 5. So really it's trial and error because each one is different and it depends on the size of the image itself. I mean, that has an effect on the movement too. No, I'm not doing that right. I'm actually losing my 300. It should be 400, 500. Okay. Position 6 is 600.
Get you talking during this and you lose count.
I know, I was just thinking, it's like walking
Yeah.
and chewing gum. That's me. Can't do it.
I was just beating myself right now. I just shut up and ask later.
No. Don't ask later. Actually, ask while we're doing it. I mean, if I make a mistake, I check it, so it'll be okay. Okay,
Enough.
so ask away. Position 9. All right, so I'm just going to go back. I'm going to check it. I'm going to do position 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, which that needs to be 9. Okay, so that's done. Now the next thing I'm going to do is add so on the original thing, I turned this blue and all that stuff, but I'm just going to use a very basic, add the slider in. Actually, just going to use this slider. Okay, for some reason I just like this one right here, so I'll just use that one. And you guys are already familiar with putting in sliders, so I'm just going to run through this really fast. But if I'm going through too fast, or whatever, you have a question, just stop me.
You're just
So
going to be inserting the slider, right?
yeah, so inserting the slider, and you probably already know this, but if you want to change the look and feel of the
The
slider,
formatting.
the formatting part, the
Mhm.
most important part is the design part. You already know that when you create a slider, Storyline automatically creates a variable. This says slider 4 because I've already, done 3 other sliders. But one of the most important things is the update information, that it updates while the slider is dragged, because that's the only way you'll see the parallax effect. If not, it'll be like delayed. I started with 0. The ending point is going to be 9. So that's the number of positions. So if you had like 20 positions, it would be 20. Initial is 0. And then you want to do step 1. That's just the counting step by step by step. So the slider part is like the easiest. Now the gnarly part, which is not hard,
The triggers.
but tedious, are the triggers, my friend. So we're just going to go through here and we are going to work through the triggers. So the first, I'm just going to start with I'll just start with the bike. So the trigger is when change state of, oh, you know what? Let me just name, that's another good thing, is to name these so it's easier to see. So house, and normally I do that. Clouds. birds, bike. Okay, so I am going to start with the bike, change state of bike to position 1 when the slider moves its value to 1. And I'm going to do that for every single image. So I'll do it for bike. I'll add, I'm actually just going to do it for birds. Slider. I could actually copy this. Actually, I'm just going to copy it.
Yeah, I was just gonna tell you Control D, Control
Yeah.
D. Oh,
Yeah. Okay. 1. Okay, so I'm just gonna, and change 2 to 2. You may have some, okay, sorry. You may have some faster keystrokes than these for me. If you do, just jump right in and just let me know.
no, it's almost the same.
Yeah, but
Yeah, I
you
wish
see,
you were.
it's not really complicated. It's just like, just going
It's
through this.
tedious, but it's
Yeah,
not complicated.
right.
Being able to copy the states or the triggers helps.
Yeah, definitely.
And being able to change the triggers that easy on 360, that is even better.
Yes, because I started out in not storyline, but I started out in,
Captivate.
yeah, and
Oh God.
yeah.
I had to stop using Captivate because it wasn't compatible with learning management systems. Although now I'm told it is, so I may have to start playing with it again.
But Captivate is, I don't know if it's gotten more, I liked Captivate, but it's definitely a little bit more intense in terms of
Yeah.
trying to do things.
It has a huge learning curve. And
Yeah.
also, for example, if you want to do something like this, you have to execute advanced actions and
Yes.
just go through each and every one of them and with a lot of housekeeping, but this is way more easier.
Yeah. But I'm kind of glad I learned on Captivate, because then when I started Storyline, then this was like a piece of cake.
Exactly. Exactly.
I was
That's exactly how I feel. To me, storyline became redemption. I mean,
like, okay, so let me change this to bike, birds, clouds. And two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, 9. Okay. Okay, I really wanted clouds and not birds. Yeah, so it ended up not taking as long as I thought it was going to take. And then I have another, I think I gave you guys the link to that interaction that I did with it was very colorful and it was like a
the
little
quiz
town. What's that?
with the quiz,
Yeah, the
the quiz
quiz.
interaction.
That was so much fun to do. It was one of the e-learning challenges. I had so much fun. But that one was a little bit more complicated because I had to add a whole bunch of variables and this, that, and the other thing and all this stuff. So I said, let me not do that one because that one is just going to confuse people. Okay, let me say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and I have too many. So let's get rid of that. And I've got bike, 1 through 9, birds, 1 through 9, and clouds 1 through 9. Let's save this. Let me make sure I haven't forgotten anything. Okay. Okay, now let's see what it looks like. Aha! There it is.
Yay, very
Wait a
nice.
minute. Let me make sure I did the right one. Yes, I did the right one. Okay.
Yes, yes.
I want to make sure it was like not the old one. Right. So there it is. Very, very simple, not complicated, but you can take it. I mean, you can make it as fantastic and all this stuff. You can just kind of do so much with this.
Yeah, I
And
guess
you
if
give
you
some
can
examples
complicate it.
of things that you could do with it, with any learning.
Would you like to see more?
Sure.
Yeah.
So like I'll show you the one that I actually did. That's actually a good one. Let me just open up that. Open. Let me find it. That's actually a good idea. This is my e-learning challenge.
What I'm already thinking about is incorporating different triggers to these states. So each and every state would have something different popping up, like
Yes,
trying
you
to
can.
make a story out of it.
Yeah.
Yes, you can definitely do that. But let me just, so I don't know. So to me, this is an example of how I've used it. And actually, there's a couple more I'm going to show you. So with this, I only have one thing moving, but basically when the user moves to each service, a quiz question comes up. Mo already saw this, I think.
I did
Yeah.
too.
Okay, so that's one, but let me show you some other really cool examples on
Hmm. When you
uh,
did the story view, now I understood how it's being made. So I did
yeah.
it.
Aha. Okay, so this is actually 215 is a better example. So let me just pull this up. Aha. Here we go. One that I think is really, really cool, super like complicated, but let me just show you hers. I really just think it's very cool. So these are all examples, but this one I found really, really interesting. Actually, this is by Nick Russell. Sorry about the noise. Hold on. Okay. So, but you can pull and drag. Once it gets started, I'll show you. You can pull and drag it, right? So that's kind of cool. That's something that you can do. Right now, I can't really. Let me try to find another example. I think you can use it with quizzes, like Mo said, you can use it to have things pop up. I think it would be great when you have like this, you're trying to get the user to discover things. But these are more of like design uses.
I could see using it in my class on management and having
Did
it
that
be a
answer your
timeline.
question?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I see it using it as a timeline to show the
Okay,
history
hold
of
on.
management. That's really cool.
Sorry about that. I actually had okay. Let me look at Tracy. Tracy she always does a lot of great stuff. I love her things. Let me kind of see what she's done.
And you're no longer sharing your screen. We just see you.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Thanks for letting me know. Hold on. Okay. Thank you.
There
So
we go.
what was the last thing you saw, Ben?
Oh, just a few seconds. So we saw the last thing that you showed us.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. What was the last thing you saw then?
The cars,
Oh,
and then you
okay.
said Tracy,
Oh, Tracy Carroll.
and Robin was talking about her adopting this for a management program.
Oh, okay. So I was going to show you, I haven't, that's a good question, Robin, and I think I need to think about like some, like how it can be applied in more practical ways. Okay, this might not, okay, this was not a good example. So let's just
This
scratch
is,
that one.
is there anything for Jonathan Hill?
Hold on. He's usually at the top. Oh, but not today. Yep,
Okay.
there it is. I have seen his Angry Birds.
Oh, he does.
Have you seen his Angry Birds?
No. So that's a parallax effect.
Yeah, because the background is moving and they're moving at different speeds.
Nice.
Yeah.
That is wicked.
All right. So, I mean, yeah, there you go.
Oh, this is great.
I'm
Okay,
going to try
gonna
to
have to
turn
check
this
it out.
off without, okay. All right, so there it is. There is what I've have. I love this, you know, I love working in Storyline. I love, you know, building these different things. I'm going to actually stop the sharing now, if that's okay, because I think
Yeah,
I'm
definitely.
good. And I had some resources, but that you guys already, you don't need these resources. You're good. So.
No, I would not say, I wouldn't say no to any resources. I'm
Oh,
okay.
okay, then I'll send it. All right. I thought, because it's what it is using sliders. It's just working with sliders, but you said you work with sliders, but I mean,
I take pointers.
it's from Articulate. So here you go. I'm going to put it in here. So
So it'll be in the chat. Nice.
yeah, so I always find it helpful. I always go back to their guides and stuff like that and looking through the forums. So do you guys have any more questions for me? You had some fantastic questions. I appreciate you giving me the honor of letting me do my first presentation with you guys, because I'm always behind the scenes creating stuff.
Well, you certainly did a great job.
Thank you. You guys are fun.
Yes, yes.
And this will be posted to YouTube, so we'll be able to track the viewing.
Yes, good idea.
And I know there were people that were in the discussion area that mentioned that it wasn't a conducive time for them,
Gotcha.
and they were looking forward to being able to watch the recording.
That's perfect.
Okay.
So what are some of the more common elements in Storyline that you use regularly?
I use, and let me just take a look to, oh boy, that's a big question. I use everything. I mean, I use lots of variables. I use layers. I didn't use layers in this example, but I use layers to break up slides. Instead of creating a new slide for each amount of the content, I'll just create another layer within the same slide. I would say those are probably my favorite. Lots of variables. I like branching. Like for instance, one of the e-learning things that I just finished was for a natural gas company. And they have 3 different locations, in 3 different states. And so the content is a little tiny bit different. So I had 3 different paths. So I used variables for that. Let me see what other things I use. I don't use sliders that much in terms of like when I'm actually creating stuff for my clients, because sometimes they get a little sticky, but I like to use them for, you know, for fun things. I use videos. Another thing that I've been doing lately is I've been using creating small little Beyond videos and putting them in my Storyline courses as like little intros or attention getters.
Mhm.
Let's see what else.
Beyond is a fan favorite by so
Yeah.
many
Yeah,
different
it's
developers.
very, very fun. I mean, you have to like chop it up into tiny little like 30-second pieces, but um, I can't think. I mean, there's a lot of things. Let me try to think of what else. I use the animations to animate, like if I want to show, like for instance, another e-learning thing I just finished, it was about fusion welding, which is like a process, like a mechanical process. And I built a little GIF in Storyline. So I use the animations, but the add motion path animation, and I just created a little animation sequence, and then I uploaded it to this
Doing a
website.
loop.
And you already know this stuff, right? I actually didn't even do a loop because I just uploaded it as a GIF, and then the GIF loops it, and that I actually put in a Rise 360 course.
Nice.
So it was
Very nice.
fun. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So
I would ask about the quiz interaction
Mm-hmm.
that you did. So I
Okay.
saw that you did branching choices.
Yeah.
So what is you've connected the slider with each and every slide that will go? I mean, that's the trigger.
Let me show you what it. Let's take a little look here. Oops, I already have it opened. Okay, so here is the
Can you
I'm
share?
gonna, yeah, let me share my screen that way.
Yeah.
See what I'm talking about. It's a lot easier. All right. So are you able to, can you see the trigger section, the slide triggers?
Yeah.
we
Okay, good.
can.
Okay. So basically what I did was I put I used layers for this one. So on stop one, I put a button right here. And that button jumps to the quiz, which is question number 1, which is this little slide right here, or stop one. It goes to this slide right here. And then so I use layers for that to actually get it to jump to the question. Then for the slider, so what happens is the slider is only acting to move the image along the is only helping to move the image along so that you can see the button. And when the button appears, it's the button that's actually taking you to the next page, that's doing the navigation. Does that make sense, or is that a little?
Makes
Does.
loads of
Yes.
sense. Okay.
Very
I was
nice.
thinking something far more complicated, but yeah, that makes sense. I was thinking maybe you're connecting one of the states and
Confusing.
the
Sounds
slider to
confusing.
the slides, but no, I mean a button makes much more sense.
Yeah, and you already know this. You guys know this. There are 1,000,001 ways to do the same thing in these authoring tools, but this is the way I did it. Are you still there, or did I lose
So,
you? Okay, good.
Nope, we're still here.
All right. So, and then I did it for each one. So, yeah. And so when it's moved along the timeline, then each layer shows up, and then they just click the button on that layer, and then it goes back. And then I have on the let's see, this is just layer 1 on the question. Of course, I have all these for the right answer, wrong answer, and all this stuff. But then I also have it, when they get it right, I have it counting so that when stop 1, stop 2, stop 3, stop 4, and stop 5 are all equal to true, then I know that they've gotten all the questions right, and then it goes to the last page, which is like the little driving.
it's a number value for the
Yeah.
for each and every one of them.
So the variable is actually not a number variable, it's a Boolean, I'm sorry, true or false variable. So that's what I use here. You could use a number variable to count it, but true and false is just easier for me because then I know they got that one right.
Okay.
Very nice. Very elegant design.
Definitely, yes.
Yeah. So do you have any more questions, or does that make sense? You can look at it if you want to. I can send you a copy. You don't have, I mean,
I'm okay with that.
okay, good.
Yeah, I would love that.
Okay, so I don't have your email, but I can send it to you.
You
And
can
I
send the
believe you can
link
also
on the
download the
chat room.
file through the e-learning or through the weekly postings. You can see the finished and you can see the file.
Okay, I'll add the file to that.
Is it on eLearning Heroes?
Yeah, but I don't
I
think,
think
let me
so.
see, it is on eLearning Heroes, but I don't think I added the challenges. No, I can't remember. Is it 275?
No, I think it was a lower, like 215.
Oh, okay. Okay, you know what? I have it right here, 277.
Ah, okay.
277. I don't think I have sometimes I'll put the file itself, but I don't think I put the file on this week. This doesn't, this is not even, no, 277. That's funny. The 277 recap goes to the 277
276.
quiz.
Interesting.
276. Oh, there it is. Okay, that was my bad. Okay, here we go. Nope, I don't have it.
Ah, okay.
Okay.
No, it's not. It's not. Yeah, sometimes I'll put the file and I forgot to put the download file here. But you know what I can do? Nope, it's too late. I'll just send it to you. I can send you a link to the download. I actually can do it in the post because I have
Okay.
AW3. So I'll add it, or Robin, I'll give you the link and you can add it, and then
Perfect.
anybody can go there and get it.
Awesome.
Sure.
Yeah, so I'll do that today.
Cool.
All
Okay.
right, I'll stop sharing. So any more questions or thoughts or fun
I'm
stuff?
cool.
Or
I just want to thank you for your time
you're
and
welcome.
Mo for attending. And I look forward to having people watch the recording. This was great information. Thank you.
You're welcome. It was nice
Yes.
meeting you, Mo and Robin. I'll
That
see you
was
guys.
amazing.
You're welcome. Thank you. I'll see you guys around.
Bye-bye.
Definitely.
Bye.